Hey everyone, it's Alexis. I am back with a brand new video. Happy Monday. Thank you for being here. And today I'm going to talk about the most talked about topic. That is the most talked about topic in all my videos and all my clients. That is a reoccurring theme of people wanting to manifest with their SP. How do you create being chased and pursued, loved and adored? How do you manifest that your SP is the one once and for all, chasing and pursuing, loving you, giving you what you might really want beneath all of that is safety, security, stability. How do we manifest that in a person? And also, I am going to use a success story that is from a person that had the complete opposite. So how did she do it? Let's dive into it so that you can apply it to yourself, okay? Before I get started, the links for booking one-on-one coaching, one-on-one hypnosis, are in the box below with me, as well as links to all of my pre-recorded courses, hypnosis audios, etc. Speaking of which, I haven't said this in a video very recently, but my course, How to Become a Master Manifester, talks about the foundational aspects of self that we need to create love, connection, all the things, chased, pursued, loved, adored, someone giving you the safety and security and stability. All the topics in this video actually are encapsulated in that course. And you guys, the courses are designed as kind of like a ad hoc to coaching, ad hoc to videos. They're to have something that you can access on repeat, listen to the videos a lot. That's what a lot of clients have found a lot of benefits from. Okay. So check that out also. It's just coming to mind. Also, I have my very brand new hypnosis, my brand new hypnotic recordings, the audios that are for download. There's 3 of them, you guys. The number 1 is Release the Past. Really great to like go and release of anything with your SP or anything really about yourself that you've associated to love that you are just done with, right? Or allowing the hypnosis audio to take you there in a hypnotic state. The second one is Lucky Charm, which is bringing in feelings of abundance, prosperity, being the lucky one who doesn't need that. We all need that. The third one is Healing Place, which is for emotional healing, spiritual healing, just healing in general. It can even be used as a touch point during the day if you have 15, 20 minutes to yourself to wind down, quiet the mind, get into a more hypnotic brainwave to feel better so that you can think better. That's always the point, is to feel better and release. So therefore you can think and actually be focused on doing the affirmations, doing your chosen affirmations. Now that's also what I'm going to talk about in this video. Okay. Because that's also something that I see a lot of people misusing in order to create being chased, pursued, loved, someone giving you the security, safety, stability. A lot of times, you guys, people come to one-on-one coaching and they have affirmations that maybe someone else has given them, or they've gotten off somewhere, or they've seen in a video. Okay. And all of my clients tell me, I grabbed this affirmation from this video that you did because it sounded great for me. Okay. The thing is this, at the foundational system of your subconscious mind, think of your subconscious like a tree. Okay. So a tree has a root system, and the root system, foundational assumptions and beliefs and ideas are what we need to unlodge and change in order to create the branches. The branches could be text messages, FaceTimes, calls, someone stopping by your house to say hi, your SP specifically, specific person, texting, calling, et cetera, et cetera. All of these are tertiary. The foundational system of you is what needs to change. Okay. So just don't be misled by surface things that might not even have to do with you. Okay. Now, this is not saying this for you to question and doubt and overthink your affirmations either, because thoughts are things and thoughts create. Always guiding to the mind to think about what you want is what we're doing with the appropriate mental diet. But you want to be changing the deeper aspects of you, deeper aspects of self, and make sure that you're doing that. And that's always what I'm doing with people in one-on-one coaching. I've actually had 2 people this week say to me, Alexis, I book with you because you're no BS. Okay. And it's not to say that I am not the coach that is going to be your cheerleader and yelling at you and being like, rah, rah, rah. Okay. In a 45-minute session, but I am going to tell you what you need to work on. I am going to give you ideas of how to also change your behavior, take different actions, do different things, because the thing is this, you guys, as much as your reality comes from you, the actions you take and how you perceive the actions you take and what you're doing and what you're not doing in your physical reality, it also matters. Okay. We're not here just to create within and think, this is all I'm doing in here and I'm not going to do anything. You got to kind of figure out an in between for all that. Okay. So in any event, let's get to the topic. How do we create this, right? How do we create from someone that was not pursuing to creating that they're pursuing? Okay. Let me get to the client success story because she sums up a little bit of her journey, which is always helpful. I love it when you guys do that because then it's like speaking from you, you know, and I'm not having to say a backstory. Right. Dear Alexis, thank you so much for all of your coaching, holding my hand, telling me to grab Kleenex, and saying that I should not be surprised that I am always shedding a tear or that something that we talk about uncovers something deeper. And I am often crying in session with you, ... I never thought that I would be like that. It's almost like manifestation coaching with you and creating the ideal situation with my SP. It is like doing deep therapy, even when we're not doing hypnotherapy. You're the best. And thank you so much. I just want to say that before I dive in to my backstory. Okay, so now that I've done that, I want everyone to know that my backstory is that I have been through so many relationships with ups and downs. I have been in toxic relationships. There have been so many things going on in my past that I realize now we're replaying with my specific person. And I want everyone to know this is my backstory with him. When I met him, he was doing all the things. He was calling, he was texting, he was even FaceTiming me sometimes in the middle of the night when I was sleeping. And honestly, I didn't think very much of it. And then fast forward to us being together officially for 2 months, he completely changed. He stopped calling as much. He stopped texting as much. At that point, he was definitely not FaceTiming me. And I remember that it was like a slow trickle downfall. I realize now that it was all my creation, that it came from me. And that really when I began to get close to him, and that I began to get closer and closer to him, I actually felt less safe, less secure, and less stable. I felt anxious, worried, and afraid all of the time. And this was the biggest problem. So now I can honestly say that I have been able to handle through Alexis's guidance how to once and for all be, think, feel. I'm going to say it again, you guys. Be, think, feel, which means embodying. I'm saying that as from me, which means embodying. That's how you embody. Think, feel, be. Through her guidance, I was able to finally, once and for all, be that. As she would tell me over and over again, we have to think it, feel it, and be it. And I finally listened to her tell me that I had to slow myself down because I had been going on rapid fire with affirmations, doing so many techniques. And she pointed out doing something to get something instead of changing the foundational system of myself. So now flash forward, I've been coaching with Alexis for about 7 to 8 months, and he has changed and reverted back, but he's better than ever than the previous version of himself. Now he calls and actually talks about himself. He wants to talk about deeper topics. We're talking about moving in together. We're talking about having a family. We're talking about having a baby. It's all happening because I am able to maintain my own sense of safety, stability, security, and focus within me. I never knew that it could be this easy, but you guys, the thing is that it's not been easy along the way. There were so many moments and tears and aspects of heartache also because I forgot to add in here that he had met someone else. I found out about a full-blown third party, not from him, but from social media, and it had really gotten me off track. And it was something that I really feel like I could only have gotten past through talking and speaking to Alexis. Thank you so much. Okay. So, and then she's got a bunch of personal information that's in this email. I just want everyone to know that this is not an easy process, but that when you really dig your heels in and you have the right support, that you can have, do, and be anything that you want, and that you can create the relationship of your dreams, and you can finally be the person that you want to be, because this is what this is all about. See you soon, Alexis, and please feel free to share this story. I am so happy to brag about you and brag about it. Big hugs. Okay. So you guys, listen, number one, conscious creation, conscious manifesting, choosing who you are, choosing who your partner is, choosing what you're doing. I've never said that it's an easy process. Once you get the hang of it, it's like riding a bike. It becomes more familiar. Okay. Because what your mind is familiar about or familiar with before you begin this is, for most people, rejection, abandonment, love not working. Okay. So do you see though how, and this happens to 9 out of 10 people I talk to who have met someone and then it falls apart. Now, first of all, like I say to everyone, you do not want to run the story that it's so shocking. He changed overnight. I can't believe that this happened this way. You don't want to tell yourself any of those things because it really isn't a shock. It's not a shock that when we become anxious, worried, and afraid, it leads to an energy of desperation and neediness, and that inevitably pushes people away. Okay. So I told her, I said, listen, you've got to get a handle on the anxiety. You have to get a handle on the worry, and you have to get a handle on the fear and all these things that are trying to come in, and I'm putting on my fan, and really get you wrapped up in negative thoughts. Okay. So your thoughts create, but who are you being? And what are you doing with yourself outside your mental diet? And are you really on the mental diet if you're anxious, worried, and afraid all the time? No, you're not. Okay. If you're able to slow yourself down. Now, slowing yourself down means getting a hold of your rapid fire mind. Most people are walking around planet Earth with their mind like this. Frenetic, frenetic, frenetic. And then we go to social media. How many things do people have on their phone that at any point they can look at and get in a dopamine cortisol rush? And then, wow, they're like running a mile a minute in their inner space. It's most people in today's day and age. You add on what she said that I hear a lot. She found something on social media. She saw something on social media about a third party. That could really take you out of your own game if you believe that's real. Okay. Now, reminder, your reality is not real. It's energy that is reflecting. It's energy that's based upon you. Okay. That's why when you feel anxious, worried, and afraid, you tend to see more things that will cause more anxiety, worry, and fear. It is just the way that the energy of reality is set up. Okay. Also, you want to think about the dynamic that you end up creating. Like, she ended up creating what? That she got rejected. He left. He wasn't calling. He wasn't interested. He was disinterested in her and someone else. Now, that is all the dynamic. That's the energy of, yes, it's rejection. It's of her not being good enough. It's also the energy of drama, pain, and suffering. Okay. So remember that if you have that as a part of your system, your model, if you will, right? Like, I hear from other people that they have this whole hang up about not being very good at relationships. You could even be more specifically thinking that you're not very good at long-term relationships. Okay. Now, I would say this might even be hard to see about yourself, but in any event, with her, you can see that that was, if we think about your inner energy, your inner dynamic, your inner model creates the model, creates what happens, right? That was obviously within her. Okay. So I had her, I am not going to say the affirmations that she had. Okay. Because again, you guys, this is the thing. Your mind is different than hers. The way that she affirms, the way that she thinks differently to change the deeper parts of her, it could be totally different than you. Okay. So you're free to grab affirmations off videos, but at the same time, you want to really rework it. Remember that it's not like you need to believe the thoughts. You do not need to believe the thoughts in order for them to create, order for it to work. What I suggest is reworking your chosen new thoughts so that you can more easily massage it through your conscious mind into the deeper aspects of you. Okay. Now, again, this takes being able to methodically slow yourself down and not being caught up in all this other stuff I hear, which is, are these the right affirmations? Am I doing this right? Am I doing something wrong? All of that comes from you really thinking you're not doing things right. So you see how the SP, specific person, love and relationships area, an avenue, it will open up a whole can of worms. It will open up a whole thing within you about you that you never knew. And I had another client say to me this week, Alexis, like, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I just thought, you know, this was going to be like surface level. And I said, absolutely not. Right. You're noticing that it brings up all the things about you, how you perceive things, your self-concept about even doing things correctly can come into play for people. Okay. Good news is that you have your thoughts to rework, retailor, rejig, and refocus on all of these things. So it ends up becoming workable. And that's why you get results. Okay. Now, if you're going to give up and say, this doesn't work, people aren't a reflection of me. Reality is not a projection of me. It's got nothing to do with me. People are just X, Y, and Z. That's also up to you. But just know that if you say that and you believe that and you think that, all you're creating is that. Okay. And it's very disempowering. The other thing you want to start practicing doing is being in your reality, being separate from people. Now, we are all connected in consciousness, but in your 3D reality, you don't want to take everything on and make it about you. Oh, I manifested this. I created this. So what's wrong with me? Like, someone has a bad day and all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I created that. Am I having a bad day? They're having a bad day. What is happening within me that I created that they're having a bad day? You guys, We have no time for that. Okay, that's my viewpoint. Absolutely not. You just want to say, oh, they're having a bad day. Like, are you okay? Do you want a glass of water? I'm having a pretty good day. Check in. Am I having a good day? I'm having a good day. Can I do something? Like, are you okay? The thing is this, you guys, when we are secure, safe, and stable, and we are feeling, stable and happy to be ourselves, you view other people that way from the, are you okay? Is something wrong? Like, can I do something? Perspective. Even if somebody was to pseudo reject you, abandon you, and have a big thing about it, you could say to them, well, okay, like, are you okay? Instead of making it, I'm rejected, I'm abandoned, right? Now, that takes a lot of intervention, and you gotta have practice in doing this. All of this stuff takes immense practice and focus and training yourself to be, think, and feel, again, a different way. Okay. So first of all, if you've got affirmations, if you've got a list of affirmations, right, and you just rattle them off, that's okay, because thoughts create, but it's not my favorite. I would rather have you go through it and re-describe the story through the affirmations that you're telling yourself that you can embed and click with, like jive with, like it's, I don't like the term resonating, okay? Because the new thoughts are not going to resonate with the current you. That's like saying the new version of you is in connection with the old version, and they're not. The versions of you that are different, like the version of this client that was safe, stable, secure, she had a memory of the rejection. She had a memory of the downfall of the relationship, but she really associated to new thoughts of self, and she was able to be that, think that, be that, think that, feel that as a default. And then she was that, you see? So I'm not asking you to like rework your list like, oh, does this resonate with me? Alexis said to go through them and change them all. No, it is to describe them differently. So you're like, okay, I'm kind of getting that. Like, for example, let's say that you were just going to take that one affirmation as an example, right? Not saying I gave this to her. I am loved and I am pursued. Okay, now let's say you've had a history of not being loved and not being pursued, right? So your mind is going to be like, first of all, Alexis, what? Me loved and me pursued. I am the one that has to do everything. I am the one that does the chasing. I'm the one that always had to, because men or women, X, Y, and Z, they never do it. You guys know if you've said this to me in session, Alexis, you know how men are. Alexis, you know how women are. Alexis, you know us girls when we get X, Y, and Z. And it's like, no, I don't know what's within you. You tell me, right? So be aware of all this, okay? It's all just a framework and a model and an idea that you've attached to that gender, to you, etc. Okay. But let's say you've never, ever been chased and pursued, right? You have no idea. It's going to sound like bananas. It's going to sound like that can happen for me. It's also probably going to sound like that happens for so-and-so and not for me. Maybe that happens for your cousin, for your sister, for your best friend. They're always the ones who have, guys or women just like fawning all over them. They're always the prize. Okay. Well, that's just what's happened so far. Okay. So this is all a recreation. A new way to do it is what we're using your thoughts to do as a reminder. Okay. So as an idea though, this is what's going to happen is that you're going to think, I am chased and I am pursued. Love chases me, love pursues me. Now, what's going to happen if you've always had the other history and you start to think love chases me, love pursues me? The mind is right away going to say, really? You're going to have that little voice in the back of your mind. Really? Mm-mm. So what if you think this and it never happens? I hear that one a lot. What if you affirm this all the time? And then what if you're in the same place? What if, no. Now the mind is doing its job when it does this other thought thing. And this happens to everyone with everything new, which is so fun, right? And any event, what do we do about this? What's the answer? Okay. The answer is this. I want you to think of telling yourself even a more elaborate story by this. I am loved and I am pursued. Love pursues me and love chases me. You hear the voice come in. No. You say, you know what? Thanks for sharing. I appreciate this has been our story. But the story now is that, yes, I am loved and I am pursued. And I am feeling more and more loved and pursued. I am actually the one who's getting pursued. I'm deciding I am being pursued and loved now. Pursued. What does that mean? Love comes towards me. I'm feeling it now. It's coming towards me. Do you see how it sounds like a singy song? If you can develop your mental diet and your new thoughts like that, then there's less of a chance for the other thoughts to come in. But you guys, when they do, your mind is just doing what it's supposed to do. You don't need to get mad at it. You don't have to get mad at yourself. You don't have to listen to the voice. And actually, you want to not resist that other voice. The other voice is who you've been for quite a while, right? That other voice is what created the thoughts of that voice are what created the current circumstance. So no problem. You don't want to resist, because what you resist persists. You instead want to say, oh, thanks for sharing. Anything else you want to tell me that could be enlightening and eye-opening? Be open to it. This is all about self-involvement. This isn't about getting your SP overnight and making something happen. Okay. So, and this is the thing too, I really believe at this point in my career is that we come to the SP manifestation realm because you're ready for greater self-involvement. It's got nothing to do with your SP. It's got everything to do with you. Okay. So how do you get chased and pursued and loved? Just through deciding that you're the one that has that now. Going through all the barriers and still deciding that. Going through all the blocks and still deciding that. Affirming and deciding, and with conviction being like, no, I am the one that is this. Like you're massaging it into your mind. So add a lot of thoughts about it. Add a lot of the story. Add a lot of details about it. If I'm the one chased and pursued, like who am I? If I'm the one chased and pursued, who am I? If I'm the one chased and pursued, I've got that security. I have my safety. I have my stability. And I'm living drama free, and it's so fun for me. Say that 20 times, 10 times a day, and you will see things change. It's inevitable. Okay. Now, the other thing is this. Like I said, you're going to have thoughts come in that oppose the new thoughts, and you got to be used to that, right? But like I ask everybody, and I asked her, okay, what else are you not doing? What else are we not changing in life? Are you unsettled? How are you feeling day to day, right? And she, like a lot of people I talked to, had a lot of stressors going on, and instead of like affirming and thinking and changing all these things and doing different things, she was thinking that the main thing to focus on was him and the relationship. And it's like, no, absolutely not. You want to focus on yourself, do things for yourself, do all the things that you can for you. And then as a caveat, they change, you change your focus on them. Do you see? So that's where the self-concept, the change of self, being, thinking, and feeling into existence, into reality, who you want to be. And that's why I'm really a fan of you thinking about this and pondering it first. You could spend some time observing yourself and being like, oh, wow, I'm really viewing everything as rejection. If you've got a rejection story or an abandonment story going on, it's not going to show up with just your SP. It's going to show up with friendships, family. You could go to the grocery store and you could, what could they do? At the grocery store, they could overcharge you. There could be a problem, and you could see it through the lens of rejection. If you've experienced this, then you will know what I mean. Okay. But you want to start observing yourself and being like, oh, so this is really just how I've grown to look at things. That's it. Observe yourself. Only from observing yourself can you then be like, no, like I'm going to view this like everything is okay. It was just a mistake. It's no big deal. I love myself, and I'm here with myself, and I'm doing a great job in this moment. Okay. So mental diet is always key. The thoughts that you're thinking and the space you hold within yourself and the focus and inner conversation that you have with you about you is the most primary place to focus. Yes, but do all the other things as well. Say your affirmations, say the new story like you are massaging it into your mind, meaning you are massaging it through your conscious mind into your subconscious mind. Okay. That is the way that you can finally be the one who is chased and pursued. And the version of you that is chased and pursued and loved, like I already said, there isn't a lack of it. She has it, he has it, you have it. Okay. And you guys also, if you're listening to me say, this video is about being chased and pursued because it's my most common question or, common thing everybody wants to talk about. But it doesn't mean that I'm telling you that you have to be the one chased and pursued. Maybe you are the one that wants to chase and pursue. Okay. If that's you, the same thing applies. The same concept of self applies. That, chasing and pursuing, I'm not saying as like a desperation thing, right? But it's being the one to approach someone, ask someone out on a date, take charge, make the decisions. You kind of have to decide who are you in the relationship. In most relationships in our physical reality, they're initially and then throughout the relationship is one person that does more of it and one person that doesn't. It's just what I've always seen. You can't fault me for this and you can say that I'm wrong, etc., because you create your reality, and who am I to say that? But I'm just telling you, it's what I've seen over hundreds of people. I am not here talking in my video about a book I have read or some abstract concept. It is about all the people I've spoken to. Okay. Because the thing is this, energetically, you chase someone, they do this. Okay. You can't, this collides energetically. In any event, let's say you don't want to be the one that is that is being pursued, and that's okay. But you got to decide who you're being, and you got to decide from my place of security and safety and stability, who am I going to choose that I want to be, right? Again, we're not choosing love pursues me and love chases me, because then you'll feel safe, stable, secure, and you'll have like the proof that they're into you. Absolutely not. That's the conundrum of conscious creation. You got to have it first. You got to be like, no, like without a shadow of a doubt, I am safe and I am stable and I'm secure and they're totally into me because I'm amazing. And therefore they pursue me, and then they chase me, love comes towards me. Okay. So, and I'm also using a chasing and pursuing with the caveat of it's not a desperate, needy thing. It's just a dynamic. Okay. But that's how you do this. You got to really get clear on who am I being? Who am I being? You're never going to create and manifest that someone pursues you and chases you and love comes to you if you are insecure, needy, and desperate, and you have to have them do it. So then you love yourself and then it moves forwards. No, it's a complete opposite. Complete friggin' opposite. Okay. Chances are too that you're, of course, playing out in your reality a deeper family system that you have in your subconscious mind about love and relationships. And it's all asking you, it's begging you, you guys, to just be secure and safe and stable and love yourself and like yourself right now and accept and appreciate who you are. Right? Which goes along with, am I doing the right affirmations? Am I doing this wrong? From the other perspective of self, it's like, no, of course I'm doing this right. Like there is no doing it right and doing it wrong. I'm doing it right because I do things right. Okay. I said I would not say affirmations in the video, and I said a bunch. Obviously you guys wanted those. Okay. So in this video, I talked a lot about all the topics, all the things, how to refine your mental diet into a new story that you are impressing in the mind, how to create the new you. And from that, how to create that you are the one being chased and you are the one being pursued. Okay. Just like this client, you can go from a complete relationship downfall, dissolving, it disintegrated. Her previous situation with her dude, it disintegrated and she recreated anew for it to be even better, even more juicy. And now look at, they're talking about moving in together, having a baby, having a family, all of the things. Okay. I love you guys so much. Remember, celebrate yourself today and every day this week. Enjoy the season wherever you are. I am loving spring, falling into summer, and even the June gloom. Those days are just like methodical and creative for me. So I wish the same for you. And I am intending the best for you. I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.